Hello, Z here. And today, with the sounds of Detroit and its party in the background, I'm going to be reading from Art of Party, the Detroit story. The peculiar case of Detroit. Detroit started with a party. The Great Peace of the Iroquois was signed in Montreal, where a band of 100 men and far more Native Americans sailed to Detroit in July. Once arriving in Detroit, they set immediately to building the shelter that would be their home as they attempted to birth a city from a fort. They sailed up and down the river for 3 days before deciding on a spot on the shore with a hill in our current downriver area. On the first day, they decided to stake their claim on the one area with walls being put up. A prayer was given, and then a dance was held. The drums echoing into the night and day were the only source of time in those long Michigan summers. This region, this area, this time is the conception from which Detroit was built, but also the start of the story for the people who built the city. It started off more as a village with a fort by the water and Native American tribes engulfing the French and French Canadians who lived within the fort. Cadillac was viewed as a despot by future historians, but this present historian sees Cadillac as a businessman, a man creating opportunities and an alternative system for himself so that he can realize his dream. He did this for self-interested reasons, though the creation of Detroit was also to fulfill a Huron destiny, become a site for the Montreal wives of those first 50 men to assert their presence in this new land. These early Detroiters worked hard and played hard, partying with the Native Americans, shaping the boundaries of private and public, interwoven like the makeshift houses that began popping up in the boundaries between Native and foreign and now Detroit. Detroit's party is more than just a party. It's life and more life. This occurred when the British staked their claims, and then the Americans in the previously French and Native backcountry Detroit. It was the French women of Detroit, the daughters of voyageurs and shopkeepers and merchants, who enculturated the British soldiers and American soldiers on the dance floor of Detroit. An American soldier wrote home to Boston explaining how the French Detroit ladies were taking him to another ball tonight, and that they had danced till 5 a.m. the day before. It's on the dance floor that these Detroit women broke English accents and made the soldiers feel welcome and showed the ways of their culture, the Detroit culture of jostling and sharing and creating. Though the intermarriages of French Detroiters and Americans ultimately led to Detroit being carved up and private property replacing a gift-giving system, it was dancing that provided the means of a previous Detroit's life force to be communicated and kept alive. So party is an art here in Detroit, and art is history. And so within the following passages, exploratory attempts to provide more value for our own participatory roles in parties will be presented. A shared vision can only start with someone sharing a vision. This is the vision of the transforming nature of a party, just like a war. A party containing social party, pressure party, and action party, less to form the space and opportunity that participants can then ride to help turn and create an alternative system. Historically, we stand in another parallel time moment. When the Dutch found themselves with excess capital and dwindling place to put that excess capital to invest, it seems the creative community has an access. Oh my God, I don't like this.